The movie begins by showing a school classroom where, one morning, out of 18 students, only one child is present. But the remaining 17 students do not come to school. Why did so many children take leave all at once? Later, it is revealed that those 17 children left their homes around 2 o'clock at night and disappeared somewhere into the dark. The police check the cameras of several houses and see the children going out, but after that, it is not known where they went. The police search for the children throughout the area, but they do not find anything. They even question the one student who came to school, asking whether all the other children had made some plan together, but he says he does not know anything. They also question his class teacher, but she too knows nothing. Because of this, the school remains closed for 1 month. After that, they are forced to reopen it, and a day before reopening, they arrange a meeting. And from there, the real story begins. In that meeting, the class teacher of the missing children, Justine Gandy, comes onto the stage. But before she can say anything, the parents of the missing children blame her and ask her where their children are. After this, the principal and staff take Miss Gandy outside, make her sit in her car, and tell her to leave from there. Justine reaches her home. After some time, her doorbell rings. She looks through the hole in the door but sees no one. She is about to turn back when suddenly someone bangs hard on the gate. She gets scared, takes an electric stun device and goes outside, but there is no one there. Then she sees that someone has written "witch" on her car. She tries to wipe it off, but it does not erase. The next day, Justine goes to school. The school principal tells Justine to stay away from the school for some time. Justine says to the principal that she should at least be allowed to talk to Alex once. Alex is the name of the student who was the only one left in her class, but the principal refuses this. Justine, disappointed, leaves from there. After that, she meets her friend Paul, who is a policeman. She asks him to investigate the missing children, but he refuses and says some excuses. Afterwards, Justine follows Alex to try to talk to him. Alex goes inside his house. Justine goes to the gate and rings the doorbell, but no one comes. She notices that the windows of the house are covered with newspapers. Looking at the windows, she goes into the yard. Then, through a gap between the newspapers on the back window, she tries to look inside. Suddenly, she sees 2 people sitting inside. Startled, she pulls back quickly, knocking over some items placed there. She looks again and sees that the 2 people are still sitting in the same position. After that, she leaves the place. On the way, she calls Principal Marcus and tells him about the newspapers covering windows of that house. Principal Marcus tells her not to do such things and hangs up the call. The next morning, she sits in her car near Alex's house, waiting for him. Alex passes by on his way to school. Justine tries to talk to Alex, but he tells her not to follow him and runs away from there. After that, she goes to Alex's house in order to talk to his parents. She knocks on the door and rings the bell, but no one comes, and there is no response at all. She then sits in her car, a little distance away from Alex's house, and waits. Sitting there, she dozes off. Night falls. Suddenly, the gate of Alex's house opens, and a woman, walking in a strange way and holding something in her hand, starts moving toward Justine's car. The woman comes near the car window and stops there for a while, then walks toward the back of the car. At that moment, a hand holding a pair of scissors reaches toward Justine and cuts off some of her hair. Justine remains asleep. Inside the car, completely unaware of this. After that, the scene shifts to Archer Graf. His son Matthew was also one of those 17 missing children. Archer goes to the police station and asks an officer to take action against the children's teacher, Justine Gandy. But the officer refuses, saying there is no such evidence against her. At the earlier meeting too, Archer had raised the same question. Why did only her 17 students go missing? He insists that the teacher is involved. That night after the meeting, Archer also follows Justine. On his car, red paint boxes are seen, from which we can guess that it was Archer himself who had written "witch" on her car. At night, Archer watches the video of his son leaving home. Archer watches that video again and again. The next morning, Archer leaves his house. Behind the trees, opposite his home, he notices a tower, in the same direction his son had run. Suddenly, an idea comes to him, and he starts drawing lines on a map. After that, Archer sets off in his car. On the way, he sees Justine's car. He recognizes it because the word witch is written on it. She turns toward a gas station, and Archer also turns his car that way. Archer approaches Justine and, blaming her, tries to talk to her. Justine is saying something when suddenly her eyes fall on a man running toward them. It is Marcus, the school principal. Marcus comes running and attacks Justine. Archer catches hold of him. Justine slips out from under the car and runs away while Marcus attacks Archer. His eyes look strange and red. After that, the story shifts to Paul. In the morning, he arrives at the police station and joins his duty. As soon as he steps outside, he sees Justine, and the two wave at each other in greeting. Later, while patrolling, he notices a boy in a street trying to climb in through the window of a building. Paul catches him, handcuffs him, and makes him stand in front of his car's dashcam. To search him, Paul puts on gloves. Paul asks the boy if he has drugs or any sharp objects. The boy denies it. But as Paul puts his hand into the boy's pocket, a syringe pricks his finger. The syringe had been in the boy's pocket. Blood begins to flow from Paul's finger. In anger, Paul punches the boy in the face, knocking him unconscious. Paul then goes to his car, removes his gloves, and sprays medicine on his finger. After that, his attention goes to the dashcam, and he pulls out its wire. He lifts the boy up and tells him that he is letting him go, but warns him never tell anybody about this incident, and not to do such a thing again. Paul then reaches the police station and tells his senior officer everything. His senior officer tells him that the video will delete itself after 1 month, as long as, within that month, no one comes to make a complaint against him. Otherwise, Paul could get into serious trouble. After this, Paul comes back and sits in his car. At that moment, he receives a message from Justine, and as we saw earlier, the two meet. Next day, Paul joins his duty and leaves the police station, and he sees the same boy walking toward police station. Paul shouts at him, reminding him what he had said earlier. The boy, seeing Paul, starts running. Paul quickly gets into his car, pulls out the dashcam wire again, and begins chasing him. Then story shifts to that boy. Actually, that boy's name is James, and he is a drug addict and a thief. Whenever he cannot get drugs, he steals whatever items he can, sells them, and with that money buys drugs. One day, Paul catches him red-handed, but as we saw earlier, Paul lets him go. After this, James keeps wandering around. It begins to rain, and while roaming, he reaches near Alex's house. Seeing that the windows are covered with newspapers, he climbs in through one window and enters. Once inside, he takes out a pillow cover to fill it with stolen items. He goes downstairs searching for valuables that could be sold. Suddenly, his eyes fall on the two people sitting on the sofa, who are sitting completely still without any movement. James becomes frightened on seeing them and says, "Sorry," but they give no response. He waves his hand in front of their faces, but they remain like lifeless mannequins. Thinking nothing will happen, James begins filling the pillow cover with items. At that moment, he notices a closed door. It is the basement door. It is the basement door. He opens it and goes inside. There, he sees many children standing straight, facing the wall, but suddenly, all those children turn around together and look directly at James. James is terrified. Apologizing, he rushes out of the basement, shuts the door, and drags a sofa in front of it. In the process, some of his stolen things fall from the bag. As he bends down to pick them up, the two sofa figures, who had been sitting lifelessly until now, rise and start moving toward James. The moment James sees them, he panics and dashes toward the main gate. Somehow, he manages to open it and runs out of the house. After that, James sells all the stolen goods to a shopkeeper. On the wall there, he sees a poster. The poster has photos of the 17 missing children printed on it, and it says that anyone who provides information about them will receive a reward of $50,000. Looking at the photos, James becomes greedy for the reward and starts heading toward the police station. But Paul sees him. The moment James notices Paul, he runs away from there. James runs and enters the forest. There he suddenly stops. In front of him, someone is waving at him. Terrified, James quickly runs inside his tent and zips it shut. But then someone starts unzipping his tent from outside. James grabs his syringe in his hand, and the moment the zip opens, he strikes it forward. James stabbed Paul in the face. Enraged, Paul dragged James outside and pointed his gun at him. At that moment, James said he knew about the 17 children, where they were. Paul was shocked and didn't believe him. James then explained that all the children were in the basement of a nearby house. Paul then handcuffs him, puts him in the car, and drives to Alex's house. He tells James to stay seated in the car while he goes inside alone. The gate of the house opens, Paul speaks to someone there, and then he goes inside. Night falls, Paul still hasn't come out. James is still sitting in the car. Suddenly, the gate of the house opens, and Paul comes out, but he is walking very strangely. He opens the car, drags James out, and begins pulling him away by his leg, dragging him toward the house. After that, the story shifts to Marcus, the school principal. As we saw earlier, Justine had phoned him and told him that something was strange about Alex's house. Marcus then calls Alex's parents. But instead of them, an old woman comes to meet him. She says that Alex's parents are not well, so she has come in their place. She also tells Marcus that she is Alex's mother's elder sister. Marcus tells her that he must talk directly to Alex's parents, and if they are sick, then he himself can come to their house. Otherwise, he warns, a complaint could be filed against them in Child Protection Services. After this, the scene shifts again. Marcus is at home with his husband Terry, enjoying a holiday. Suddenly, their doorbell rings. It is the same old woman. She somehow makes an excuse and comes inside, asking Marcus for a bowl of water. While talking to them, she performs a strange ritual in which she uses Marcus' ribbon and some of Terry's hair. After this, Marcus begins acting strangely, and suddenly he attacks Terry. He smashes his head into Terry's face repeatedly until Terry dies. After that, the old woman takes out some other hair from her bag. These are the strands of Justine's hair, which she had cut from Justine that night near her car. She wraps the hair around a strange wooden stick, and rubs her own blood on it, and then snaps it. Immediately, Marcus runs outside to kill Justine. And, as we saw earlier, he attacks Justine, but Archer saves her just in time. Justine escapes in her car, but Marcus keeps chasing her. Archer also follows in his car. But when Marcus is running on the road, an accident happens, and Marcus is dead. After that, Justine and Archer are shown coming out of a hospital. Justine thanks Archer for saving her life and says that she had spoken with Marcus recently and he had been completely fine. She says, "I've never seen anything like this before." Archer replies, "I have seen it." Justine is surprised. Archer explains to her that the way Marcus was running, all the missing children were also running in the same way, and that man wanted to kill her as if he were some kind of missile whose target was locked. He then takes her in his car and shows her the map on which he had drawn the lines. He shows her the spot where the lines intersect. Justine tells him that Alex's house is located near that very crossing point. After this, the story shifts to Alex. Alex is shown sitting in class with all the other children. Then school ends and some children bully Alex. Later, Alex leaves with his father, sitting with him in the car. On the way, his father tells him, "Your mom's Aunt Gladys is coming. She will be staying with us for a few days." That night, Alex looks out of his bedroom window and sees his father bringing an old woman into the house. This woman is Aunt Gladys. Next morning, he goes to school. While working in class, Matthew throws a pencil at Alex's head. Teacher Justine notices it and tells Matthew to leave the class. She then asks Alex if he is all right. Alex says yes. After school, Alex waits for his father to pick him up. His father does not come. After waiting for a long time, Alex walks home by himself. When he reaches home, he finds his mom and dad sitting stiffly at the dining table. He talks to them, but their behavior is very strange. Then Aunt Gladys comes there, talks to Alex, and tells him to eat dinner. Alex throws water on his father's face, but still his father does not respond at all. Aunt Gladys gets angry and says that Alex will not get any dinner. She orders him to go upstairs to his room. The next morning, Alex comes downstairs. His mom and dad are still sitting at the table in the same stiff position, and Aunt Gladys is also sitting there. Aunt Gladys tells Alex to sit, and he does. In her hand, Aunt Gladys has a strange-looking twig. She pricks her own finger, smears the blood on the twig, and then snaps it. Immediately, Alex's mom and dad pick up the forks lying in front of them and start stabbing their own faces. Alex tries to stop them, but they do not stop. Then Aunt Gladys dips the twig into water, and they stop at once. After this, Aunt Gladys threatens Alex. "If you tell anyone outside about what happens here, I will kill your mom and dad." Then she tells him to go to school. Alex goes to school, but at school, he has lost his focus. He is distracted and mentally absent. When he comes home, His mom and dad are still sitting the same way. Alex goes upstairs and sees Aunt Gladys performing some strange ritual. Then Aunt Gladys tells him to feed soup, kept in the fridge, to his mom and dad. Alex feeds the soup to his parents. This routine continues for many days. One night, while Alex is sleeping, Aunt Gladys calls him. He wakes up and goes to her. Aunt Gladys tells him that she is very sick and only Alex can help her. She then tells him to bring one belonging or item of each student from his class. The next day, when all the children are playing outside in the playground, Alex sneaks into the classroom. From each student's basket, he secretly removes the stickers with their names. At home, he slides these name stickers under Aunt Gladys' room door, and then goes back to his own room. That same night, while Alex is sleeping, he hears some sounds coming from downstairs. He wakes up and goes down. He sees Aunt Gladys performing a ritual using the name stickers of the children. At the end of the ritual, she rings a small bell. The clock shows 2:17 a.m. Then she goes outside and Alex follows behind her. At that very moment, all those classmates of Alex leave their houses and, running strangely, arrive at Alex's house. The next day, Alex is sitting in his classroom, just as we saw at the beginning. It is at this moment that we learn how the children disappeared and where they went. After the disappearance of the children, Alex's guardians are also called in for questioning. Miss Gladys takes Alex's father to school, fixing his appearance, and tells them that Alex's father has had a stroke, which is why he cannot speak, and that she herself is taking care of everything. Later, some detectives come to check their house. But the night before, Gladys has already sent the children away to some other place. Seeing everything looking normal, the detectives leave. After this, it is shown that Alex feeds soup not only to his mom and dad but also to the children. This is what he does every day, buying soup from the store and feeding all of them by himself. One day, when Alex comes home from school, he sees Paul, standing inside, completely stiff. Suddenly, he also sees James, and on seeing him, Alex becomes frightened. Alex goes upstairs and Aunt Gladys comes in front of him. She tells him to pack his belongings, saying, "Tomorrow morning we will leave from here." Then Gladys goes back into her room. Before leaving, she warns Alex not to cross a line of salt that she has drawn. At the same time, Alex sees his parents standing there at the door like statues. Alex goes to his own room and falls asleep. Early the next morning, when he wakes up, he looks outside from his window and sees a car parked there. In reality, they are Justine and Archer. They are standing outside Alex's house, and Archer says to Justine, "Why is a police car parked here this early?" They are still talking about going inside when suddenly the gate of the house opens. Paul comes out, makes a hand gesture toward them, and then goes back inside. Upstairs, Alex puts on his shoes and looks out from his room. His parents are still standing stiffly like lifeless dolls outside Gladys' room. Downstairs, Justine and Archer enter the house. Inside, Justine unknowingly crosses one of the salt lines, and instantly Paul and James attack them. Justine runs into the kitchen. Archer punches James repeatedly and knocks him unconscious. Upstairs, Alex deliberately crosses one of the salt lines and runs into his own room, shutting the door. Downstairs, Paul catches Justine and strangles her. James keeps getting up again and again to attack Archer, and Archer throws him down each time. Suddenly, James jumps onto Archer, and the two of them crash through the basement door. James strangles Archer, and in that moment, Archer notices the children inside. Upstairs, Alex's mom and dad break the door. Alex slips out through another room and runs into Gladys' room, locking the door behind him. Meanwhile, Paul is still strangling Justine. Justine grabs Paul's gun and, unwillingly, shoots him in the head. Paul falls dead to the ground. James is strangling Archer, but Justine comes from behind and shoots James in the head too. Archer gets up and goes down into the basement. Upstairs, Alex looks inside but sees no one. Then his mom and dad break through the door. Alex quickly picks up a wooden twig and Gladys' hair, then runs into the bathroom. Downstairs, Archer searches in the basement for his son Matthew. But then Gladys snatches the chain from around his neck. Soon after, Archer comes back upstairs. Justine is crying over Paul's body. Archer suddenly grabs her from behind. Upstairs, Alex imitates Gladys' ritual. He wraps her hair around the twig, smears his blood on it, and snaps it. Gladys comes upstairs to where Archer is strangling Justine. Suddenly, she senses something and rushes outside. All the children come out of the basement and chase after her. Gladys keeps running, trying to escape them, but finally one girl catches her. Then all the children surround Gladys and tear her apart. ripping her body into pieces. After this, Archer regains his senses and lets go of Justine. He goes outside and sees everything broken and destroyed. Justine steadies herself and goes upstairs. She sees that Alex's room door is broken and everything is scattered. Outside, Archer looks around and sees that windows of nearby houses are also shattered and everything is in chaos. Following these signs, he reaches another house where he sees all the children standing. Among them is his son, Matthew. Archer lifts Matthew in his arms and walks away. Meanwhile, Justine goes into Gladys' room and sees Alex hugging his mom and dad. It is then revealed that Alex is sent to live with another aunt because his parents have fallen into a coma. All the missing children are returned to their parents. Some of the children recover quickly, and here the movie ends. If you like our explanation, please like this video and share your thoughts in comments. Subscribe to our channel Crax. We will be back soon with another amazing story.